Hey Cameron, how are things going with you right now? I know you said you might have to stay later today for work, but I thought that I'd just check to make sure that wasn't the case.
Actually, I was able to get out sooner than I was thinking. I'm about to get to the bus station and transfer onto the subway there. Did you need something from me?
I'm so happy to hear that. Since you're almost there now, can you run by the supermarket near the station and grab me some milk before you get on the subway? And it's the milk with the blue label on the jug that we always drink that I want. You know the one I'm talking about.
Yeah, I know which one that is. The same old that you're always wanting from there, right? I'll pick it up for you before I get home.
Thank you so much, and only a half gallon will do. A gallon would be too much for us again, and it would just go bad. And the reason I want the milk is because it's a really cold day today, and I was thinking of making that mac and cheese bake you really like.
Really? Thank God for that. The last time you made that stuff for me, it was so good I finished the whole pan off in a day. Hey, you want me to pick us up some dessert or something while I'm at the store too? I can get us a cake if you'd like. I really want to have an awesome dinner today, so I think that would be a good touch for after the bake. And this is partially a celebration for the bonus my boss is promising me, so you don't mind us celebrating that in advance, right? I can pick up some other things to eat and drink if you'd like. What do you want?
Are you kidding me? Oh, that's so amazing to hear at a time like this. I wonder if that bonus has to do with all the hard work you've been putting in while studying at home. Well, if you're going to be picking me up something as well that's to my liking, I'd like some ice cream to go with the cake.
I'll make sure to get you chocolate. You know, a lot of this is thanks to you, Ashley, and all the help you'd given me, so I'm gonna make sure to get us a really fancy cake from that bakery right next to the bus drop-off. Parents told me already that if I'm gonna be getting married now, I need to be celebrated for it by the both of them. My dad told me that my mom has everything all figured out, so I don't need to worry about a thing.
That's not what I'm talking about. This has nothing to do with what your mom and dad are saying. I'm wanting to know who it is that's getting married right now and why you are going out to celebrate something like that with your parents.
I get what you're asking now. I'm getting married to someone by the name of Kathy. I only met with her for the first time a half a year ago or so after my mom went and introduced her to me. But we've been going out with one another since then, all for the purpose of getting married to each other. I was told by my mom not too long ago that it's getting time for me to tie the knot with someone, and she told me that Kathy was really wanting to get married soon as well. So when I asked her to marry me and she said yes, my parents both told me that we have to celebrate our engagement now. Therefore, tomorrow I'll be going out for lunch with them to celebrate. Do you understand now?
Huh? I have no idea what the heck is going on here. Cameron, do you have any clue what you were just saying to me there?
What are you talking about?
What the hell is this about you getting engaged to another woman who you plan to marry now? You've been going out with me this whole entire time, right? You and I have been living together with one another under the same frickin' roof. We've been going out with one another for 5 whole years now and have been living together for 3. Yet you're telling me now that your plan is to marry a completely different woman because your mom introduced you to her?
I guess things like this would end up happening.
What the hell do you mean you guess things like this would end up happening? Listen, Cameron, I know that recently you've been going back to your parents an awful lot, saying that you've had all kinds of things you had to get done there, but have all those moments where you've gone back to their house been you going to meet up with that other woman?
Yeah, that's right. My mom has been telling me that I have to do my best to come home and meet with her more often and go on dates with her so that she doesn't lose interest in me. And she's actually been really fun to hang out with, so I never minded.
You have a woman at home who you've been dating for years now, yet you go back to your parents' place to go on dates with another? Listen, Cameron, are you even aware that what you're saying means you've been going out with 2 different women at the same time?
What? Is that a bad thing or something? It's not like you and I ever got engaged to one another, so what's the big deal with me having another woman?
Huh?
You and I don't have any plans of getting married, right? We just happen to be living under the same roof together. Yet you're making a huge deal out of me wanting to marry someone else now? I'm sorry, but are you trying to cause issues for my fiancé and I now or something?
Huh?
I really do like you a lot, and you're the kind of person I really enjoy living with a lot as well. But when it comes to Kathy, well, I can't really say that I hate her or anything. And since it's my parents who are saying that I should be getting married to Kathy now, I'm gonna be getting married to Kathy. It's as simple as that, really. Do you understand?
It's as simple as that?
Well, anyway, when it comes to this coming Sunday, I'm not really going to be able to hang out with you any. And now when it comes to your ice cream, are you looking for more of a standard chocolate or would you want something with chocolate chunks in it as well? And I'm not going to forget to buy that milk for you before coming home, all right?
Don't bother coming home.
What? Why can't I?
Don't you ask me why I said that again. Now don't you ever come back to this house. Why the hell did you think there was no meaning to the both of us frickin' living in the same house together? What the hell was our relationship to you, Cameron? We have been dating this long because I wanted to frickin' marry you. Nothing about it was just the 2 of us splitting the bills here to cut costs or anything. I loved you and wanted to become your wife someday. What the hell do you mean you want to live with me, but when it comes to having a wife, you prefer Kathy? You go and frickin' screw yourself, you giant asshole.
Wait, what? Why are you getting so upset at me right now, huh?
I always thought that when it came to arguments with you, it was best to be delicate so that we never ruined the love we had for one another. But today you have proven to me that there is no point in delicacy because you have done and said the worst things known to man. There were so many things about you that pissed me off a bit, but now you have really gone and set me the hell off. We're breaking up now. I'm going to send every frickin' thing of yours that's in my house to your parents' place, so stay the hell away from me. I don't ever want to see your smug face ever again.
Excuse me, Ashley, but what has gotten into you? Cameron just came all the way home to us out of nowhere, and for some reason he came in carrying both a thing of milk and a big cake. All he said to me before going to his old room was that you're upset with him over something, and nothing more. Did the 2 of you get into a fight or something?
That didn't happen because of a fight. We broke up.
What? You 2 ended up breaking up? I see why he's home now, but why did something like that happen so quickly?
Happened so quickly? Even though he and I have been living together for 3 years now, I heard him say he was introduced to another woman and is now become engaged to her. When those words all entered my head, of course I was ready to drop him like he meant nothing to me, because he doesn't anymore.
Oh my. So that's what led to you both getting into a fight and breaking up, huh?
Colleen, what the heck were you trying to do here? I hear that it was you who recommended Cameron go meet with that woman and then get married to her down the road. That's what Cameron himself told me you'd done. You've known for a very long time now that he and I have not only been a thing, but that we were living under the same roof, right? You met me a whole bunch even before we started to live together, and I'd been to all sorts of your guys' family events before as well. But when it comes to that woman, he only met her half a year ago, right? Tell me, Colleen, what is your reason behind introducing your son to another woman like that when you know he's been dating and living with me?
I'm not sure I can tell you the reason why. Well, if you want to hear the truth, it has to do with me wanting my son to marry a really good woman. And I want for him to become happy with her for the rest of his life, all right? In other words, I was looking out for Cameron as his mother should do. Instead of being with some basic woman who comes from a basic family and only does the bare minimum at home when it comes to chores and such, I wanted him with someone more interesting. Someone from a really good family, and with someone who would marry my son for the sake of doing everything and anything he could ask her for, all right?
Huh?
While Cameron's been young, I've thought that it's been totally okay for him to go out and be with different women and enjoy the different kinds of sexual pleasures they may offer him. But with him becoming a bit more important to his company and him getting up there in age now, I felt that he's no longer in that stage of life where he should be messing around with you anymore. When it comes to Cameron, he happens to not only be working for a very large and popular company, but he is our one and only son who we take massive pride in. So that's why I went ahead and set him up with a woman that would better fit the man he is now and will soon become.
So you're saying that all I was to Cameron was a toy for him to enjoy himself with? You thought that he and I were just enjoying one another's body this whole time with no serious goals later on while living together under my roof?
Listen, please, I never actually wanted my son to live in the same house as you like he'd done. I knew that when something like today, where you're both breaking up with one another, came along, it would be tough for him. But I remembered that he had moved far away from us for his work, and even during his time in college, he hadn't really done anything for himself besides study and work. And when it comes to things like chores and cooking, his current job wouldn't allow him all the free time to take care of those things, right? That's why, after thinking things over for a little bit, I allowed him to move in with you, like he'd done. By having someone who could do all the chores at home for him, I felt a lot better about things.
What the hell am I hearing right now? So you never actually wanted him living with me as though I was his girlfriend, but as if I were his housemaid? You allowed him to move in with me because I'd be able to take care of all his needs while he worked?
Well, if I were to say it like that, I'd feel a bit wrong about it all. I'm sorry, Ashley. I know I shouldn't be saying this, but the woman he's currently engaged to now happens to be his executive director's daughter of all people. If he's able to get married to someone like her, then his future is going to be safe and secure, and he'll never have to worry about a thing. His father and I will never have to worry about a thing. I would love it if you could understand that for me. Now I ask that you please just let him be and take yourself out of the picture. If you'd like to stay friends with him or anything like that, you're more than welcome to do that, though.
What? Is that right? After all the times I came out and celebrated your birthday and you celebrated mine, and all the times we would go out together and grow closer, I was the only one thinking that someday you would become my mother-in-law? To you, though, I was nothing more than your son's toy and tool, and that's why you went and spent that time with me? Really, all I ever was to the bunch of you was Cameron's housemaid and not a thing more, right? And not only was he able to live in my house for free, but you had me paying for most of his needs when he'd ask for something he'd want. Yet now that he's got himself a new woman, and they're about to become husband and wife, you just want me to screw off? Huh. Alrighty then, Colleen. I can't believe this is how things have really been. You and your son better be careful not to screw with people too much like you've done to me so far, or else you both will be burning in hell like the rest of the mindless dickheads in this world. I've already broken up with him, so don't you even try letting me know that it's still all right for me to be his friend, because I'm not going to be anything to that man anymore. I already told the guy to never, ever come around me ever again, so please, let him know that once more for me.
Oh, is that so? Well, as long as you're going to stay away from him on a romantic level, do what you'd like. Have a good one, I guess?
Hiya! Today I just went and got married with Cameron. I just thought I'd be kind and let you know about all of that today. What? I'm sorry, but who is this? What? You don't remember me at all, Ashley? Oh, my name is Kathy. This is Kathy. You and I went to the same exact school with one another until the end of middle school, right? Wait, is this the same Kathy that lived close to my parents' house back during that time? The same exact Kathy that would always think of herself as a god because her parents had money and would call everyone else poor and treat them like crap thinking you were in the right? That Kathy? The same Kathy that went and hassled all of her favorite classmen for brand goods and would whine and cry when none of them would pay attention to you? That Kathy? The same Kathy that got her first phone in 8th grade before everyone else, and would brag about it before one day a teacher took it from you, which made you upset and led you to smash a window with your fist. That Kathy? And the same Kathy that then got expelled from our school at the end of the year for all of that and never came back? This is actually bringing back so many memories for me now. How have you been doing, Kathy? Are you making fun of me right now? Ashley? Not really, no. I was just remembering all of those memories I had of you from back in the day is all. So, what's going on with you? You're telling me that you're the one that ended up getting married to Cameron? That's right, I'm the one. I'm sure you're surprised by that, right? Back when I first heard that someone like you was going out with a man like Cameron, I thought to myself that there was nothing in common between the both of you, and that surprised me. How could a gloomy loser like you be together with someone like him? Tell me, what kind of lies did you tell him, or tricks did you pull to trap yourself a man like Cameron? You think I lied and trapped him? We just happened to be in the same club with one another in college, and he was the one who started to talk to me first. Is that right? Well, none of that really means anything to me now. Currently, he is now my man and will be forever. I am seriously sorry for stealing your elite boyfriend from you when he was about to start making bank at the company. And at your age, there's no real chance of you ever going out with a high-end man like him again, right? And when it comes to marriage, you're going to have to deal with all the leftovers that are nothing compared to Cameron, right? I mean, you think anyone else is going to be able to put up with the parasite you were when you'd suck away all of Cameron's money? I feel so bad for someone as disgusting as you. Too bad that you weren't able to become a celebrity wife like me, you poor loser. Did you know that starting next week, I'll be moving into a penthouse on the top floor of a condo building downtown? I'll become his housewife, and from then on, I'll be living my life as the celebrity wife you had always wished to becoming, right? Make sure to be jealous of him and I for the rest of your life, okay? Just like always, you really love to just sit there and run your mouth like a bitch. Was that really your only reason for getting back in touch with me after so many years? Well, considering the type of sad woman you are, you can't be working right now and must have all the time in the world to talk, right? I see. Since this is a one-in-a-chance time for me, I guess I'll say what's on my mind now. Actually, I've had something on my chest which I've longed to say to the woman Cameron was getting married to. What's that? I am really so thankful for what you've done. You have helped me out so much, Kathy. Huh? What the hell has gotten into you? Are you trying to act all tough now? No, not at all. I am thanking you right now from the bottom of my heart. I was a bit worried if he'd been with someone who had no idea what she was in for with him, but when you made it clear to me that you of all people were the one who got married to him, I think the outcome is going to be just fine. I think you both and the both of his parents are going to work out perfectly together now. Let me just say, good luck to you. I'm serious, you're really going to need all the luck you can get with this one. What the... You're sounding more and more like a sore loser with every word that you say, and you look like a total idiot right now. You don't have to wish me any luck because I know this marriage with him is going to go better than whatever sort of relationship you think you can pull off next. And remember, unlike a total waste of time like you, I'm the daughter of a wealthy and powerful man. And I'm the one that's not only spoiled by Cameron himself right now, but his mother and father as well. So you just sit back while sucking on your finger and watch my... Help me! Hey, Ashley, help me out right now! Hey! Oh no, what's going on with you right now, Mrs. Celebrity Wife? How could you ever ask for help from some simple loser like myself right now, even? Have you gotten to the point where even you're counting yourself as a degenerate now? This is not the time for you to be messing around with me like that. There is something seriously wrong with Cameron. If anything, he has to be sick in his head or something because of the way he's acting now. Does he have some kind of a chronic disease or something that I should have been aware of? A chronic disease? I have no idea about him having any diseases like that. Did something strange happen between you and him? Just know that the guy is completely off the rails right now. You could say that he became this crazy overnight, or that he's been getting more and more crazy as we've been together. At first, I didn't notice a single thing wrong with him that would make me freak out like this. But over time, he's gone from being the man of my dreams to this sloppy disgrace that I have no clue what to do with. And for the past 2 frickin' months, he's been wearing the same exact shirt without ever changing out of it. Dang, the same exact shirt for the past 2 months, huh? At first, I just assumed he had a lot of the same shirts in his closet or something, but recently there's been this sort of rancid stench coming off of him. When I asked him why he'd been smelling like that recently, he told me that he hadn't cleaned that shirt for 2 months now. And not only that, but he hasn't even been taking a bath or a shower. He told me that since we've got married, he's only ever been in the shower 2 times. Ew, that's freaking gross if you ask me. And not just for a short time either, but for 2 whole months he's been like that? But did it really take you this long to start realizing all of those things going on with him? Wasn't it obvious when he was never tossing any clothes into the hamper for you to put in the laundry? I didn't ever notice a thing at the time, all right? I just assumed that he was doing his own laundry all by himself this whole time, and I never saw him actually doing it. Ah, I get it now. And if that wasn't bad enough, the man's appearance has been changing as well. I'm not sure where he's been buying a lot of the clothes from, but all of his neckties are so weird, as well as his pants and socks and such. But I know one thing for sure, and that's that all of his clothing he buys is really cheap and looks like the stuff a child would be wearing. He's also been having a harder and harder time communicating with me, and the way he talks to himself all the time now makes me feel uneasy. This doesn't make any sense, because before he got married to me, he was wearing really nice clothing all the time. He always said the nicest things to me, and he would never talk to himself either. The fact that he's turned into whatever the hell he is now all of a sudden is too much for me. You thought the guy was dressing well before? Well, thank you so much for the compliment. I never thought you, of all people, would be willing to compliment what I'd done. Huh? Why are you thanking me for saying that? Because I was the one that picked out all of that clothing for him before. I would not only help him buy his clothing, but I'd make sure he wore the right set of clothing each and every day before he left the house. What? I'm going to start spoiling some deep secrets now for you, all right? When it came to how he looked every day when you were seeing him, and anyone else, I was the one behind that fit. I would think about the time, the place, and the occasion for the man and get him an outfit to match. If it weren't for me always doing that for the child, he would go to all of these important company meetings wearing the most ridiculous neckties. And he wouldn't wear leather shoes into work, but sandals and crap. And he would wear just a regular t-shirt under his suit jacket and some strange pants, making himself look almost like a clown. So I made sure to always ask him what his plans were for the day and then get him an outfit to match those plans. At first, not even I had a clue of what was good and what wasn't when it came to fashion, but after studying up on it for a bit, I was able to get him looking a lot sharper. But man, to think that there could be someone on this planet that doesn't even know how to match their own clothes like him makes me think he isn't even human and is an alien of some sort, especially with those silver sweatpants he'll be walking around in all the time. The silver sweatpants? That's the pair of pants I always see him wearing. I assumed that he was just going to some parties or something. No way. Well, if you want to know where those pants came from, they're the ones that he picked out for himself. Isn't that insane? When I saw him picking those pants out of all things, I was very shocked. After so many moments of me warning him about dressing up more fashionably and helping him for months at a time, he'd just revert back to that crap the moment I took my eyes off him. There's no way. I thought he was just trying to get a laugh out of me or something, but that clothing is all the kind of crap he wears on a daily basis? Oh, disgusting. This can't be happening right now. And to make things even more interesting, he knew I'd get upset at him for buying clothes like that, so he started to hide it all from me. You know how he'd do that? He would stop throwing his clothes in the hamper for me to wash and would avoid letting me iron any of his things. There were times I'd find his clothing covered in mold and him still trying to wear it. And not just that, but when looking through the house after we'd broken up, I found boxes full of strange clothes in the basement he'd been hiding, and they all smelled ghastly. Ugh! No way, no way, no way! Right? You'd better be more careful with that guy from now on, all right? If you take your eyes off him for even a second, he is going to turn one of your rooms into his storehouse, where he'll keep all of his nasty, moldy clothing. For myself, I had to spend close to 3 days going through my place, deep cleaning everything with nothing but bleach. All because it wasn't just the basement he'd kept that nasty clothing in, but in corners of the house I couldn't normally see, like behind some doors and furniture. And if his disgusting clothing wasn't already enough for you, he would always leave things like food and drinks out as well. If I never told him to get into the shower, he'd stay out of it, and he never bothered cleaning the toilet either. Things like cleaning, laundry, cooking, all of the chores. I would have to be the one doing it all because he just couldn't understand the concept of being clean and well kept. And no matter how many times I'd try and teach him how to be a proper adult, he'd just forget after 3 days and go back to whatever the hell you'd call his base character. What? You're lying, right? He told me before, though, that he was always doing his chores when he lived by himself, so he would be fine, and he said that to me with so much confidence. I guess he was living by himself when he was going to college, but he never did any of those chores himself. His mom would come all the way out to his dorm room once every 3 days to do all the chores for him, which means that he's extremely useless, and he knows how to do nothing at all. Cleaning and cooking was all left in the hands of his mom. You have to be kidding me. When it came to his job and the work he had to get done, I had to do everything that I could to support him with it all. Whenever he'd have a meeting coming up, I'd have to go through all of his documents, making sure there were no errors. I would even have to correct all of his manuscripts, and 3 days before those meetings and presentations, I'd have him stand in front of me and practice. I had to do all of that because if not, he'd go in front of all of his superiors trying to make these very inappropriate jokes about them. I had to tell him over and over again that the only things he was allowed to say were things I wrote down in red on his papers. And if that wasn't all enough, I would have to go through his business cards every time he updated his to make sure they were all correct and didn't have such typical errors. I would also go and look through all of his coworkers and superiors' social media accounts, looking into the kinds of people they are, so that when it came time for their birthdays and such, I could get them presents for Cameron to give to them, so that he wouldn't look like a total dumbass giving them toys and candy or some BS. And I would also have to make sure to tell him what times he was supposed to go to parties for work and when to go out drinking with his higher-ups. And just in case I were to ever slip up, I made sure to tell all of those that he'd meet his #1 hobby was acting. That way things wouldn't be as awkward when he'd act himself around them. Also, the guy's horrible at remembering people's faces. Even those that he'd met time and time again, he'd walk up to them saying it was nice to meet them and asking for their name and such. To be frank, the guy's anything but an adult when it comes to the way he behaves. What? You had to take care of all those tiny details for the man? So then, the reason he was always doing so well at work is because you were behind the scenes making it all happen for him? That's exactly right, Kathy. I'm not trying to brag at all about any of this, but if the guy isn't supported with all the help he needs, he won't be able to do anything by himself. In other words, it's like having to take care of a vegetable, which is still able to walk and talk. He can't communicate properly, he can't dress properly, he can't work properly, and he can't survive properly. He quite literally can't do anything properly. And that's why, as of right now, without any of my support for so many months now, it's becoming clear to you just how sad of a human being he is, right? If you think that I'm lying about some of these things, by the way, go and have a closer look yourself, would you? I think you'd be very surprised by what the guy is hiding from you. The man you went and ended up with after having fallen head over heels is someone that had to constantly rely on me to get anything and everything done from his job all the way to his home, who had to be treated like an elementary schooler by me and doesn't give a single crap about his own hygiene. The world's worst man ever. You've really done it now. No way. Why did you never tell me anything about him before this? Had I known that he was going to become that kind of a sad person, I would have never ended up marrying him. The only reason I even went and married him in the first place is because I thought he was an elite with all kinds of income. Well, that's too bad for you now, isn't it? You didn't end up with the future where you got married to a put-together man who could give you the celebrity life you'd been wanting. You ended up with a man that requires you to take care of him 24/7 to ensure he doesn't become some kind of a monster. Now, as long as you do what I did for him, he will go right back to being the man you saw me with. But that's going to take a lot of your time and effort now. That's impossible for me. Like, seriously, impossible for someone like me. Hey, please do something about him for me. You come back and support him one more time for us. You can start coming over to the house every day, and you can be the one taking care of him from now on. Make the Cameron from the past come back and be my husband again. You really think that I'm going to say okay to something as unwanted as that? Why should I have to go back to taking care of that dumbass all for the sake of you? You can see just how stupid everything you're saying right now is sounding, right? I will pay you to come here and take care of all his needs. How much would you like for the job? Tell me the price that you want for him and I'll pay it, I promise. No matter how much I'm being paid, I can't be asked to go back to caring for that freak. And as of right now, I'm living such a relaxing and enjoyable life. I don't have to wake up at 3 in the morning every day to start cooking for the guy, and I no longer have to rummage through the closet anymore trying to figure out what to make him wear anymore. I don't have to stay awake until 1 in the morning anymore trying to fix all of his paperwork for his job anymore, and I no longer have to sit around with him anymore having him practice all of his presentations. I don't have to help him remember all of the people he's ever met and who they all are when it comes to buying gifts for them. And I don't have to help him figure out which parties to go to anymore and what to wear at them either. I'm able to wake up when I feel like it in the morning and only do the chores that I need to do. I can work at my job without ever having to worry about how Cameron is doing, and I can go out and enjoy my own lunch. I'm able to go where I want to go on all of my days off, or I can just sit around at home enjoying my hobbies and relaxing. I'm able to study the kinds of things I want to now to improve my skills. And I can take as long as I want now at night caring for things like my hair and my skin before bed. I'm able to watch the movies I want to at night in peace, and I can head to bed at 10 p.m. instead of 1 in the morning when I please. The life I've been given now is so much better than what I had to live through with that walking disaster. Ever since I realized how wonderful life could be for me without someone like Cameron in it, I don't think I can go back to being around him. I can't just buy my own time and energy with your money, you know, so there's no way I'm going back to being that loser's caregiver anymore. How about you start doing all of that by yourself for your marriage's sake? No way. There is no way I can do something like that. I have a job of my own and everything that I need to focus on. So there is just no way in hell that I have the time or energy to deal with someone like Cameron all week. I was able to take care of him while I worked, though, for 5 whole years while I was going out with the guy. But now that I'm finally away from him like this, I think to myself why I had put myself into such a position where I had to raise him like a child every single day. And so far, I still can't find the answer to that question. I was a bit hesitant at first when it came to breaking up with him. But just 3 days after telling him that things were over between the two of us, I got all my energy back and have been feeling like I'm on top of the world now. The world has really opened up for me again, and it just feels like I finally had my eyes open to what truly lies out there for me. You understand what I mean by that. That's why when I heard from you that you'd both be getting married to one another, I thanked you for it. I finally felt at peace with myself and wasn't upset at all about leaving a man like Cameron in your arms instead of mine. Now, as long as you make sure to at least get some sleep and some food into you every week, you'll be able to make that relationship work with him. Good luck to you. I really cannot do this with a man like him. Hey, come on now, do something about all of this. You take responsibility for this mess right now. You're the one that turned Cameron into such a lost cause, right? Now, come on, Kathy. He's always been that useless, even before I found him. All I did was try and support the guy before realizing that he didn't even appreciate my time and effort. And so, when he and I broke up, he went back to being the useless and lousy man that he naturally is, instead of the elite man I was trying to turn him into. So you stop complaining about it all when you're the one that chose to marry him. If you're looking for someone to blame for all of this, then find the one responsible for the way he is now. I told his mother about him as well already, about how strange he's been recently, but the only thing she ever has to say as a response to me is that I need to make sure to take great care of him for her. Well, if even his own mom is asking you to take care of him for her, then there really isn't a single damn thing I can do to help. Not like she's asking me to do anything. Try your best now. Damn it! Why? Why the hell has this happened to me?
Ashley, it's been a long while now. Have you been doing all right for yourself?
What do you want from me now, Cameron?
Are you upset with me or something? I feel like you have something against me right now, but I'm not sure what it could be. Or are you just on your period or something?
The only reason I'm upset right now is because I'm having to answer some texts from you. So what is this about? Why do you want to talk with me now?
Oh, right. Well, my mom had a really bad fall and is in the hospital right now. I was told that she can't really walk anymore and is waiting on some more scans. And the doctor told me that when she does get out of here, she's going to need to be cared for. But I have work and all of that still, so I don't think I'll be able to watch over her. I wouldn't mind putting her up in some old folks' home, but at the moment all the ones closest to us are full. So I'm in a bit of a pinch right now.
Oh, is that right? Well, that's too bad for you guys, right?
Right. So that's why I'm wanting you to come and take care of my mom when she gets out of the hospital. You can come and care for her after you finish work. So please do this for me.
Huh? Why? Why are you asking me?
Well, because my mom will be in need of help. I have to have someone around who can care for her since I won't have time to do that.
Sure, but that doesn't mean that I'm the one responsible for her and having to care for her, right? And I don't want to do it anyway, so no.
What? Wait, what's wrong?
You and I broke up months and months ago. Is there any reason for your ex-girlfriend to be coming over to care for your mom at all? She's not my mom.
Wait, what? Wait, I don't understand what's going on here. Last time when my mom caught a cold and wasn't doing well, you went and took care of her for a week, right? Why are you saying no to me this time around?
Okay, so at that time, you were still my boyfriend, and to me, she was like someone who would one day become my mom, right? Right now, you and I are exes, and to me, you're nothing more than a stranger. I don't want to be going out to take care of some random stranger's mom, and I don't even have the time for that anyway. Yet for some reason, you're acting like I was just going to hop right up and do it for you. Did you just assume that I would be all right with that?
What? Then what am I gonna do about her?
I don't frickin' know, you idiot. How about you ask your own damn wife to take care of your mom for you?
But currently, Kathy is a bit... Well, right now she's not home. She told me that she had some very important things to do back at her parents' house and such, and left the house. And after trying to call her 20 times now, she hasn't answered even one of them. I'm not sure what this means for me and her, Ashley.
In other words, she's gone and abandoned your ass, right? I guess the only thing about her that's so good is her ability to run away from you. Well, her having ran away from you, or whatever the hell, has nothing to do with me and my life, so...
No, wait, hold on for just a second, please. I am really in serious trouble at the moment, Ashley. Ever since you and I broke up, nothing has been going my way, and it constantly feels like I'm failing at everything. Kathy has run away from me, the whole entire house is like a landfill now, and all of the food I buy tastes terrible. My work has been going downhill for me, and all of my friends are starting to leave me as well now. My mom has collapsed and can no longer remember who I am even. What the hell am I gonna do about all of this now?
Stop asking me about all of that. How about you use that last remaining brain cell of yours to think of something? I have nothing to do with your sorry ass anymore. Now goodbye for the rest of time. After that, Cameron came all the way out to my place where he and I had been living together before. He was able to come to the door and knock on it for a long time, but when one of my good friends came by and asked him what he was doing, he told her his intentions only to be met with her telling him to screw off. Thankfully, I had already finished all of my preparations for my move and didn't have to see him face to face when he came to the house. He then went from the man I had set him up to be when we were dating to the worst employee ever at his company, as he ended up not only failing at so many projects, but he pissed off one of the most important customers to the company as well. This led to his boss telling him he was either going to lose his position and be transferred to somewhere else, or he'd be fired. But just before that could happen to him, he gave an excuse that he needed to stay home to care for his sick mother and left his job for good. However, when it came to helping care for his mother, he did anything but that. He never was able to pay for her to get into a better facility that had openings, and he wasn't able to hire a caretaker either. He didn't really do anything for her himself and just started to sit around at home all day in his room, turning into a hermit who would soon forget about society altogether. And to this day, it sounds like his mother, who can barely move or remember anything herself, is having to take care of the fool and herself the best she can. From what all the neighbors around them have been saying, neither one of them ever leaves the house anymore, and the only activity they ever notice is food being delivered to the place and left on their porch. When it comes to Kathy, she went all the way back home to her parents to inform them that she would be getting a divorce from Cameron. But it turns out that the customer who Cameron had really pissed off worked for Kathy's father's company and had complained to her father about how he couldn't work for the company anymore after that. Because of what Cameron had done, he caused a lot of trouble for her father's company and had led to him having to take full responsibility for the lost contracts that were caused by Cameron. He became a much heavier drinker after that, and this caused his wife, Kathy's mother, to stop wanting to live with him. So when Kathy cried out saying that she'd leave Cameron and everything, her mother and father told her that it was her fault for marrying such a disgraceful man before kicking her out of their house and out of the family. Thankfully, that ended her mother's desire for leaving her father, and they started to work on their relationship and her father's company again after Kathy was out of the picture. Kathy ran all the way back to Cameron thinking that at least she had him around. But when she got back to the house and saw that it looked like a landfill, she made a U-turn and ran. For a bit, she would just go to the nearest 24/7 cafe and lay around crying all the time, using up whatever money she had to eat and drink and sleep there. But after she had realized that she had to do something more than just moping all the time and left the cafe and got back out into the world after a week had gone down, currently she's going back to all of her old friends, hopping from one house to another trying to keep herself from becoming homeless. But things like that have only led to more drama and trouble between her and her friends are leaving her one after another now. Perhaps Cameron is like a god of pestilence, and all of this mayhem that's been unfolding was all his doing from the very start. Thinking back on all of this now, had I never broken up with him and forced him out of my life, it would be me having to care for both him and his mom all the time, and that is a thought I really don't want to have again. As for myself, I have had a ton more time to myself and have been using it to go and study things like the stock market and other languages, trying to make myself an elite. And after a few months of studying, I brought all my newly learned skills to work and showed my higher-ups the woman I was becoming. This led to them giving me a promotion and a raise, which has landed me on the business team, which will be heading overseas to help with a new office there really soon. I've already begun moving across the globe to my new home, which gives me the security I needed a lot of, never having to see Cameron ever again. And now that I'll have a brand new life for myself in a foreign world, I'm going to make myself into that elite which I'd always been making my ex-boyfriend seem like. Thank you for watching and listening. We hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Also, feel free to leave a comment about what you thought of the story. We look forward to seeing you at the next story.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.
Mindy, I'm gonna have to head out here soon for a little while today. I'm sorry. We're just getting on with our honeymoon today, and now I have to cancel my plans with you for the whole day.
Huh? What's going on?
Yeah, I really want to stay here with you, but a co-worker that came to town to help out the company for a little while has caused some major troubles with one of our customers. And I'm being asked to head out and help him, because management thinks I'll be able to clear things up.
What? But why do you have to be the one to go in and do that? Aren't there plenty of other people that can do that while you're out of the office? It's our honeymoon after all now.
Huh?
It would make sense if you were a part of the management team, but you don't even have anything to do with that other coworker or with the customer he's working with. So just tell them to call someone else and that you're in the middle of something important here.
Oh, right. Well, the customer he's working with now is someone I've known for a long time, so we're thinking that if by having somebody recognizes be there to help smooth things out, it will calm down a little about the trouble. That's at least what management's thinking. I kind of agree with them, since I've known him for so long and in the past he was a customer of mine.
Is that so?
But listen to this. As in, I'm sorry for doing this in the middle of our little vacation. I'm having you do a 3-hour-long spa and massage course in the hotel.
What? Are you kidding?
At first, when I asked about getting a spot for today, the hotel told me there were no spots open, but just a few minutes after that, they called telling me that a 1 p.m. appointment was canceled and opened up for you. So I put you down for that time. I should give you something to look forward to. With all the cosmetic treatments that are included in the spa course, you'll be all fresh and ready for you when I crawl into bed with you tonight.
Awesome! Thank you so much. At least now I can feel a bit more forgiving towards you since I have something to keep me busy.
Well, with all of what I said, I'll be gone for the day, but we'll try to get back here by tonight. I'm sorry again.
Don't worry about it. Just make sure that tomorrow you'll be up for all kinds of adventures with me. I want us to go parasailing at the beach and then go to some of the nightclubs downtown together.
All right. I'll be back in a little while then.
Have a safe trip.
Hey, where are you right now? You have some nerve for doing all this when we had plans for just the two of us to have that secret wedding. Hey, I just had a good look at your Instagram. Canceling our wedding to go on vacation without me is screwed up. What are you thinking? We have been waiting so long for this chance, and now you've blown it. At least reply to me in some way. Hey, there's definitely a man with you right now, huh? I saw that picture you posted with your arms around a huge-looking man. I'm gonna divorce you and get all your money after this. Just you wait.
Huh? What is all of this? I planned to give you a call or text just after finishing the spa and massage course, but what is all of this about canceling on a wedding and going on a vacation? And another man? Divorce? And getting all of my money? Huh? Now that I think about it, you and I had our wedding yesterday, right? And just after that, you and I headed out on our honeymoon right away. And that wedding wasn't just the two of us there, right? We had all of our family there as well as friends. Even people from our jobs came to see us get married. What are you going on about, Keith? I hope this is some kind of sick prank and none of what you're saying is serious stuff. I'm sorry for bugging you all of a sudden. I'd like to ask and see if this is really Keith's wife, Mindy, on the other side of this phone number I'm texting. Huh? This is Mindy. Hi, my name is Stacy. You're Stacy? I'm sorry, but this is the first time I've ever heard your name. And where did you happen to find my phone number? I'll get to all of that here in just a second. To start, I want to apologize to you for everything that might hurt you with the story I'm about to tell you. Okay. What's the story? Well, I was able to get your phone number from an old friend of yours that you went to college with. And right now, that old friend of yours is a coworker of mine. Oh, so that's how you've run into them. I normally would never ask for another person's phone number without their permission, but due to the urgency of the situation, I had to ask them repeatedly for it. So please don't blame your old friend for giving your number out. Okay. I'm sure that once I hear more of the story and about whatever urgent situation is at hand, I'll understand things even more. But at the moment, I'm okay with you having my number. Well then, let me get to the main story here. Well, today was supposed to be the day that Keith and I planned to get married on. Huh? Hold on a second. Keith and I only just got married to one another yesterday and had our wedding and everything. And after that, we started our honeymoon, and we're supposed to still be on it right now together. And in my case, today is the day we would have been having our wedding with one another. Huh? I'm sure there are a lot of things you'd like to say to me and to him right now, but we need to do something about this problem first. So before you start to ask more questions, just hear the rest of the story. All right, go ahead. Let's start with 2 days ago. Keith and I both took a bus and went out to Miami, and there is where we had planned on having the wedding. Miami. That's where I'm at right now. Right. But anyway, he was planning on having the wedding with me today, but then he had some things come up with his job and had to leave me for a little while to go back to his office. And so I've been left here waiting. Today, right? And so while I've been waiting all day for Keith, I had time to burn and started talking with my coworker. And while talking, I sent them a picture of Keith. They're the same person that gave me your phone number, by the way, but today was their first time actually seeing a picture of the man I'd be marrying. And after getting his name and everything from me, my coworker told me that they remember seeing a man like that getting wed to you yesterday. This is insane. Now that you mention it, that coworker of yours, she happens to be a really good friend of mine and was there at the wedding. But with something as crazy as this, I thought she would have just said something to me about it by now. I told her that I'd be getting in touch with you and said she could hold off for a bit. Right now she's pregnant. Pregnant? So this really is Jamie that we're talking about, right? Yes. She is going through some things with her pregnancy, and so she felt bad for having to tell me that she knew Keith. But I didn't want her to have to deal with all this right now, while carrying a baby. And so I said I'd handle things for all of us. So that's how we ended up here. All right then. We got a little off track there, but can we get back to how you were supposed to have a wedding with Keith today? Yeah, so to sum up pretty much everything so far, your husband is Keith, is the man I was supposed to have a wedding with today. Keith is your husband and mine. Do you understand that? Yes. When I had learned about all of this from Jamie, I hurried up and called the wedding hall and told them to cancel the wedding. Really, doing something like that is pretty bad since we were so excited to have the wedding. But to make it so that he would lose all feelings for me and not try to rekindle it, I went to the gym nearby and posted a picture of me with a really buff shirtless man. Well, so far I haven't heard anything from Keith yet about that post, but... Oh, I know. What? I think I know how this is all linking up with what Keith was going on about earlier. Were you guys supposed to be having that small wedding today around 1 or 2 in the afternoon? Yeah, 2 p.m. was supposed to be the start for us. So he must have sent me the message he was supposed to be sending to you. Huh? He sent whatever he wanted to say to me to you instead? At first, when reading through all of those messages from him, I had no clue what was going on. I was really thinking he was trying to pull a prank on me or something and would come back to the hotel room a little bit after. But after hearing your story and him still not being back, I think I have a good suspicion. I'm going to send you everything he sent to me by accident so you can be all caught up. Give me just a few seconds. Oh, okay. Please and thank you.
Mindy, I finished dealing with all those problems at work. I was able to sit down with the customer and have a good talk, as well as get things back on track for the company. Should be able to get back to the hotel in an hour or so. But still, I'm sorry this all took so long, used up a lot more time than I'd said at first.
Ah, okay. Good job today. Thank you for sending me all the screenshots of those messages he sent to you. I know that what we've both had to see from him is a lot. But the fact that he has the drive to marry 2 women and had been planning on having 2 weddings in only 2 days while on his honeymoon with one of us, well, and him and I aren't actually married yet and he's threatening a divorce. At this point, things have gotten way too out of control. Stacy, I just got a message from Keith. Huh? Just to let you know, Keith did say that he had to go into work today and that all went down this morning. He said something about having to deal with a customer and how he was the only one his company could rely on. I thought that was all a lie at first to go and have this wedding with you, but you haven't been with him either all day, so I'm not sure what he's been up to all day today away from the both of us. Maybe he really did have to go to work like he told you earlier then? Or maybe he's with yet another woman. But anyway, he told me he'll be coming back to the hotel in an hour. So to be here with me when he arrives, do you think that you can come and meet at the Skyloft Hotel in Miami? Let's you and I meet in the lounge on the 1st floor. I know it'll be a bit of a drive for you to come up here, but it'll help us both a lot. Sounds good. I'll come back that way now. I'll be in a pink dress waiting for you.
What the?
You're a quick runner when it comes to running away from the problems you've made.
What the hell's going on?
What's going on is exactly as you saw.
Why the hell are the 2 of you together? You both shouldn't know a thing about one another, right?
Did you never notice that massive group of texts you sent me when you got angry with Stacy? You were even trying to call me when you should have been trying to call her. You screwed yourself big time, Keith. That's how we both found out. Along with a couple other things that just happened to line up in our favor. I wonder if your brain short-circuited when you wanted to yell at Stacy earlier. Or maybe you're just too lazy to check which woman of yours you're texting with. Right now, the 2 of us would really like to have a word with you in person, Keith. But if you're not going to come here to us, then we're getting nowhere.
Why did you have to figure all this out? I had it all planned out so well.
And I plan on letting you know all about what's happened today. But first, I want to know why you wanted to get married to both me and Stacy. And within 2 days, I'm planning to have your second wedding in the same city as your honeymoon with your first wife on the same day is stupid, Keith.
I had no other choice.
Huh? No other choice?
Listen, I knew I was gonna have to throw one of you away.
That right there is not going to help you get anywhere with us.
Well, look, I knew I'd have to choose one of you to be married with for the rest of my life. But I was having a hard time choosing who. You have a lot of money and work a job that brings in even more. But Stacy, on the other hand, has a very good-looking body and knows how to work with me. And so, when thinking of who to get rid of, I became a bit, panicked. Back when I was dating you, Mindy, I ran into your parents and we talked. And while on a date with Stacy, I ran into her grandpa and talked a bit. I had all you and your families on my mind and started to think that I might just marry you both, have 2 wives.
What?
I tried my best so far. I've had to propose to 2 different women as well as pay for a wedding with both and plan out a honeymoon with both. But I had to make sure that everyone else never found out about this. So since Stacy doesn't have her parents around anymore, her and I were gonna have a quick private wedding together to get married.
Keith, can you shut up already?
Huh?
You thought you could just marry both of us? Bull crap. You are only able to have one of us legally, and you have to choose. So here we go. Choose one of us now, or say goodbye to both of us. You are not able to marry more than one person, so you have only those 2 choices.
I don't like either of those choices, though.
Hold on now. You don't have to get worked up over it anymore.
Huh?
You've chosen number 2. Saying goodbye to the both of us. That's the only choice you really ever had after what all you tried to pull.
What?
Our honeymoon is now over with.
Wait a second.
I'm going to need to call my parents now. And Stacy said she'll be calling her grandpa.
Huh?
And of course, we won't be forgetting your parents.
Without getting my take on this first?
Do you think we care about your take on this?
But come on. I want you, Stacy.
Shut the hell up, Keith.
Huh?
After all of this is over, both Stacy and I will be getting lawyers and making sure that you pay for what pain you've brought upon us.
Lawyers?
What you've done to us is not something anyone should be trying to do. And what you were going to try and do with Stacy was going to be marriage fraud, right?
You're kidding me.
Well, I'll leave the results of this up to the specialists to decide.
Stacy? I mean, Mindy.
You and I are getting a divorce with no ifs, ands, or buts.
Mindy.
After that, Keith tried to talk all of this through with Stacy, but it was all a pain in her neck, and so she just blocked him. And an hour after that, for whatever reason, we saw a security guard handling Keith and pulling him out of the women's bathroom. There was a cop car sitting out in front of the hotel, and there waited an officer ready to take him away. There was another woman in the lobby with us that told me she called the police and security on him because he was in the stall next to her and she was afraid he was going to do something to her. We heard from one of the officers that came to take him away that he had accidentally run into the women's bathroom instead of the men's when running from us. And in doing so, startled that woman we just talked to. But when she screamed for him to leave, he must have been too afraid to because of Stacy and me. Well, I don't really care about what he had to face after being taken into custody and off to the local jailhouse, but I'm sure he'd only get a fine or something after explaining himself. I was more focused on making sure that he and I got a divorce, which of course we did get to do after showing and explaining everything to my lawyer. In the divorce, Keith was also forced to pay me a settlement for cheating on me with another woman, as well as had to pay me back for any money I put into our wedding and honeymoon. Stacy did the same thing as well to Keith, so in total, he was left having to pay over $1.2 million to both of us. He was not going to be able to fight us on that, and would be going into loan hell trying to afford everything. And all of that together seems like the perfect punishment for him. I'm not sure what'll happen to him in the future, but I don't care, LOL. One great thing did come from all of this, though, in the end, and that was a very close friendship to Stacy, since we had both gone through the same troubles. Of course, there's also all of Keith's money that we got as well. That's a great thing, but I'm keeping that one a secret. Thank you for watching and listening. We hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Also, feel free to leave a comment about what you thought of the story. We look forward to seeing you at the next story.
Randy, are you there? Can you do me one huge favor, please?
Hey, Beth, what's up? Are you okay? Relax. What's this favor you're talking about?
I want a divorce. And I mean right away. There's this guy I met, and I love him. I want to be happy, and I have the right to be happy, right? No use trying to talk me out of it, Randy. I've already made up my mind. The cast has been set.
Hold on a second there, Beth. You're going way too fast for me. First off, let's relax for a second and talk this through like adults. I mean, you sound like a 5-year-old that wants a new toy, for God's sake.
I'm plenty relaxed for your information. And I've totally thought this through, so don't think that I'm not completely calm and conveying this very important fact to you.
I sort of recall having this very same conversation with you before.
What are you talking about? I've never said this to you before. Anyway, I want that divorce, and I want it now. No ifs, ands, or buts about it, Randy. And about the divorce papers, I should, maybe...
Don't worry about that. I got it right here.
Huh? What? Why would you have it already? Did you hear about this from someone? Who told you?
No one. It's in the top drawer in the living room cabinet where we keep all of our important documents. I already signed it, so grab it anytime you like and do what you want with it. I no longer care.
Hey, Randy.
Don't tell me you want me to deliver it to your boyfriend's house or something, because that's not going to happen.
No, about those divorce papers. Why do you have those? And already signed? What's up with that? I mean, this is the first time I've asked for a divorce. So why? Why do you already have a signed copy?
What are you talking about, Beth? Do you suddenly have amnesia? Or did you hit your head getting out of the bed this morning?
No, I'm perfectly fine.
As I recall, the first time was when we were still engaged. You remember that guy who ran his own company next door? The second time was during our honeymoon. You suddenly had the hots for the hotel manager. Remember that? The third time was with your boss at the part-time job you had 6 months ago.
Those guys came on to me. You make it sound like I was lusting after these guys.
And it turns out that these guys wanted nothing to do with you. You came on to them too aggressively.
I never did such a thing. You got it all mixed up, Randy. They aggressively pursued me and then demanded that I get a divorce, and after they got what they wanted, they all dumped me. It wasn't my fault. I'm the victim here. They used me, and when they got what they wanted, they discarded me.
All they did was say a few nice words to you, and you took it literally. You were suddenly in love and demanding a divorce because you had finally found your true love. You got it in your head that they were in love with you and proceeded to aggressively pursue these guys. They were taken aback by your forcefulness and creeped out by this fatal attraction type of response that they wanted nothing to do with you. I'm just astonished it hasn't become a police matter. I guess they thought if they pressed charges, you'd come after them even harder.
How could you say that, Randy? You make me sound like some crazed stalker. I'm your wife, for God's sake.
Then act like one. Anyway, you want a divorce, right? Just get it over with, would you? I was going to give you 3 chances.
Pardon me, 3 chances?
Yeah, you get 3 strikes and you're out sort of thing. Anyway, if this happens for the 4th time, I was going to call it quits anyway. Let's get it over with for Pete's sake. I've already informed your folks about my intentions. Your father did a lot for me getting this job and all, and I didn't want to let him down. But my patience is worn thin. Your folks were sympathetic to my concerns and were grateful for the chance I was willing to give you. I told them that if that 4th incident occurs, that I was going to go forward with it without consulting them whatsoever. They were okay with it. And the 4th incident just occurred. There is no turning back now. I would appreciate it if you would hurry up and get those documents signed and submitted. I'm done.
Oh, yeah. That the way you want to play it, Randy? Okay, have it your way. Let's do this once and for all. But just so you know, Randy, I didn't demand this divorce without thinking things through.
So what is it? What do you want to say, Beth?
Those 3 times that those guys used and abused me, I'm going to chalk all that up as experience. It was a hard and painful lesson, but this time it's different. I had him prove his love to me with action.
Action? What action?
Yes, by proving his everlasting love of me. Well, there is only one way to prove love for someone else, if you know what I mean. When our flesh touched gently against each other, that love truly begins to manifest itself.
I'd rather not hear the rest.
Which means that I really don't give a damn if you divorce me.
Oh, is that so? Okay, I get it. You're telling me that this time it's for real, that you cemented the deal, that there is no turning back, is that it?
That's right. We physically demonstrated that our love was real, proved it to be genuine. I was able to know that beyond a shadow of a doubt, our love was 100% genuine. So I'm going to divorce you for sure this time and marry the love of my life.
Okay. Now that you're 100% sure, who is this guy? Tell me a little about him, would you? That's the least you can do.
Huh? Why do you even have to know?
I'm your husband, or shall I say soon-to-be ex-husband. I should know the guy and maybe meet him at least once. Just seems like the right thing to do. Besides, it will smooth the path when everyone meets up later with our lawyers and all.
Yeah, well, not sure about all that, but I guess if it's necessary. His name is Josh Bradley.
Wait a second, Josh Bradley. The son of Mr. Harold R. Bradley? The family that owns that mansion on the hill?
Oh, you know Josh? I thought maybe you might know him. You guys are about the same age.
We're exactly the same age. We went to college together.
Oh yeah? He never mentioned that. Pure coincidence, huh? He's currently living alone in a condo over in Richmond. The condo's right down near the river with a beautiful view. We're planning on living there as soon as tonight.
I see. Okay, Beth. I think I'm starting to see the whole picture. Hey, Josh. It's been a while. How have you been? Hey, Randy. What's up, man? Been doing okay. Been a while, hasn't it? Good to hear. Hey, Josh. Can I ask you where you are right now? Right now? I'm at my stepdad's place. He just passed away the other day, so my mom is all alone here at home. So I plan to be here for a bit longer. You're talking about that big mansion on the hill, right? Yeah, that's right. I'm surprised you knew about that. With your stepdad gone, I bet the whole family is frantic about the inheritance and all. I can just imagine. With that big house and all. Yeah, well, what can I say? I'm not related, as you know. It's mostly my 3 stepbrothers who are clamoring over each other to divide up the inheritance. We really don't have anything to do with it. Oh yeah? But it must be pretty difficult for your mom, getting stuck in the middle of it all. Yeah, but my mom knew it would all be too much of a hassle, so she waived all her rights to any of the inheritance. As for me, my stepfather never officially designated me as a son, so I have no rights to any of the inheritance anyway. I'm actually kind of relieved not having to hassle with it. I'm just here to comfort my mom, but I may need to step in every now and then if things get heated. To be the impartial observer, I guess. Oh, I see. Doesn't sound all that fun, but what do I know, right? Does that mean you won't be returning to your place in Richmond for a few days, right? Yeah, that's right. See how things play out, but I'll definitely be staying here tonight. How do you know I live here in Richmond? Heard from one of our old classmates recently, I guess. Since you're staying tonight, this might be a good time to... This all seems kind of weird. What's weird, Randy? What's on your mind, man? You can talk to me. Yeah, there's this problem. This may freak you out a bit, but I suppose there's no avoiding it, so I'm going to go right out and say it. You got me all spooked, Randy. What's the deal? Do you happen to know a woman named Beth by any chance? Beth, huh? That's really weird. My current girlfriend is named Beth. I've been seeing her for the last 6 months or so. What's this about, man? Oh, yeah? 6 months, huh? Have you guys talked about living together anytime soon? Or have you given this Beth the keys to your condo? No, we haven't gone that far yet. It's still been 6 months after all. So, you know I live in a condo in Richmond. Heard it from a classmate, I suppose. Yeah, something like that. This Beth, I think she's planning on moving into that condo probably tonight. Wait, excuse me? She's planning on moving into my place? Why do you even know that? What's this all about anyways, Randy? What's your concern? Don't tell me that you know Beth's friend or something. Or are you interested in Beth, maybe? Well, I guess you can say I was interested in her a long time ago. Wait, what did you say? Why wouldn't I be? She's my wife after all. Hold on a second. What? Did you just say she's your wife? Come on, Randy. Is this some kind of prank? Did Beth put you up to this? I bet she did. Anyways, Beth said she's single. She wouldn't lie about something like that, would she? Can you prove she said that? That she was not married? Oh, well, let's see, yeah, I have my past line correspondence right here. She clearly says she's single, never been married. Okay, that's more than enough. Thanks, Josh. Randy, if this is true, I really didn't... Don't sweat it, Josh. You have nothing to worry about. I know you. You have nothing to worry about. I know you, man. I know that you're not the kind of guy who will purposely go out with a married woman. I'm glad you have trust in me, Randy, but still, I feel really awful about it. I'm really sorry. I don't know what to say. I should be apologizing to you on behalf of my wife. She really went over the line this time. No, please. You shouldn't be apologizing to me, Randy. Is there something I can do? Help you out in any way? I'll do it if you ask. It's the least I can do. You know, I was going to ask, but I wasn't sure if you were up to it. It sure would be helpful. Are you sure? I'm at your disposal. Fire away. Okay, I know it's a bit late, but can we meet now? Sure thing. Tell me the time and place and I'll drive down right away. Do you still know what apartment I use for business? I think we used it a few times back in college. Yeah, the one on Main Street, Glendale Apartments, right? Up on the 3rd floor? I think it was room 309 or 308? Yeah, 309. You got a good memory, Josh. Still love that place, huh? Brings back memories. I used that place quite a bit when I was working on my dissertation. I'm headed over there now. You okay with it? No problem. I'm on my way.
Randy, are you there? Please respond. I was duped again. How could this happen to me? I was so sure this time. I can't believe what Josh did to me. How could he? I was going to move in with him the other day. I had my bags packed and everything. I went right over to his condo in Richmond, but he wasn't there. I figured that he was still at work, and so I waited in the lobby for him. And guess what? The front desk manager there told me he had already moved out. Apparently he had terminated the lease there 2 days ago. I had to lug all my luggage back home. I rang him right away and asked him why. He immediately texted me back, saying that he would never have gone out with me if he knew I was married. Then he just said goodbye. I told him I was already divorced and that everything was fine, but he wouldn't hear it, and he immediately blocked me. Now I can't even get in touch with him. So, Randy, it would really be helpful if you could pay me $500,000 in compensation and then I can go on with my life? What do you say? It was you, wasn't it, Randy? You're the one who told him I was married. Am I right? I thought I finally found the love of my life, the emotional pain that you caused by telling him I will never heal from. It's your fault for ruining my life, the passionate love that was in my grasp. To be honest, $500,000 is a mere pittance for the emotional trauma that you caused. But I will let it go at that. That's all I'll ask of you. I'm headed back to my parents' place tomorrow, so I want you to deposit that money into my account by tomorrow. No getting out of this, Randy.
What the hell is this? You must be totally nuts. $500,000 for emotional distress, huh? Seriously? I knew you were a little empty-headed, but this is moronic. Anyway, it's good that you're headed home. A lawyer will stop in this week. I would ask that you hear all of the details and make your demands to him. I briefed him on everything, so...
Hey, Randy, are you there? Seems like you forgot something. Today is the day you were supposed to deposit that money. There's not a cent in there. What's up?
Like I said, the lawyer will stop by and explain everything. Ask him about that when he arrives.
Come on, Randy, just deposit the $500,000. Why do you have to draw this out by hiring a lawyer, making it one big hassle?
Beth, why do I have to pay you?
Like I explained to you, the reason I was dumped by Josh was because you told him I was married. That's why he broke it off. Is that so hard to understand? You're at fault. You pay. Simple as that. This was a once-in-a-lifetime chance for me, and you ruined it, Randy. I was set to get a $10 million inheritance. You pulled the plug on that. That dream went down the drain.
Oh, wait a sec. Say again?
Josh's dad passed away the other day. So obviously there was this thing called an inheritance. And Josh, being the only son, well, he had $10 million coming to him. And you took that away from me.
Beth, let me stop you right there.
Huh? Why?
Before you start blabbering on, let me get straight to the point. Josh has no right to any inheritance.
Huh? Of course he does. He's the eldest son. Look at that huge mansion on the hill, for God's sake.
Okay, let me explain everything from the very beginning because you seem to have no clue. First off, Josh is not the only son. He's the stepson. He has 3 brothers who are blood related.
Huh? He has 3 brothers? This is the first I'm hearing about this. Why didn't Josh tell me?
Josh came into that family later when his mother married Mr. Bradley. He's not related to them.
Huh? Not related, but...
And another important point, he was never officially declared as Mr. Bradley's son, so legally, he's just a stranger. Well, maybe not a total stranger, but a family friend, I guess. And what's more, his mom also waived all her rights to any of the inheritance. The 3 brothers have sole rights regarding the inheritance of the $10 million.
What? Seriously? What's happening here? I didn't even know he had any brothers, for Pete's sake.
Well, the 3 brothers are way older than him, like 20 years older, so you probably figured they were his uncles or something. That's the story. I figured you had no clue what was going on. Even if you had managed to marry Josh, he would have received 0 inheritance from his stepfather. No $10 million. That was just a pipe dream, Beth.
That can't be. No way. I want my $10 million. Hey, Randy, what the hell is this? Why do I have to pay compensation to you? What the hell is your lawyer talking about? You're the one that has to pay me. What the hell is happening here?
I'm pretty sure my lawyer explained everything to you. Were you even listening to him? I'm sure he explained that Josh is also demanding compensation for lying to him about not being married.
But we were in love. We loved each other. Love can't be bought. It was never about money. This was pure love, at least on my part.
No matter how you try to spin it, Beth, you had an affair. It's called infidelity. I'm sure my lawyer probably explained this to you, but cheating in a marriage is against the law, punishable by a fine. In your case, you said you weren't married and cheated on me. That means you have an obligation to pay damages to me. I'm the victim here, Beth. Get that through your head.
How could you say that, Randy?
I'll say it over and over again if I have to.
But you ruined my chance at happiness.
Happiness? Are you for real? How about my happiness or even Josh's happiness? You ever think about that? Josh thought he was happy with you, but you ruined that too. All you were after was the $10 million.
Okay, then let's forget this whole thing. What do you say? We can start over from square one. If you do that, I'll forgive you, Randy. A clean slate. What do you say?
Beth, I'm going to have to stop you right there. You know what? I really think you need to see a shrink. Something's not right up there.
Huh? What an awful thing to say.
Take it any way you like, Beth. All I ask of you is that you pay the compensation and we're done. I never want to hear from you again. You got that?
What? Wait, seriously? Why? I said I was going to forgive you, so why would you say that?
Beth, you're not listening to me. I can't take any more of your BS, and I certainly don't love you anymore.
What? You don't?
Anyway, Beth, no more. Goodbye. The last conversation with Beth was like talking to an alien or something. She was just not making any sense whatsoever. She seemed like such a nice girl when we married. Where did things go wrong? Anyway, I printed out the whole conversation that we had and sent a copy of it to her parents just so they understood the circumstances. I'm not sure if that was what did it, but her parents apparently sent her off to an uncle's place up north to get some therapy for emotional distress or something. Whatever that means. A friend of the family, this 60-year-old rich guy, took a liking to her and offered to pay all of her debts off, and in return, she asked to work at his large mansion as a maid and helper. And the parents agreed to the deal. They told me that she would probably never contact me again. I was okay with that. I wanted to get on with my life, to be honest. However, I was a little concerned about this 60-year-old rich guy taking a liking to her. I was especially concerned of the job description of helper, but I really wanted nothing more to do with her, so I left it at that.
Molly, I just heard the big news from my brother. Congratulations on getting engaged. If it isn't Christy. I heard from my family that you and him have been together for about 3 months now, but thinking that you'd both already be thinking about marriage is pretty crazy to me. I hear that you both plan to have the wedding in another 2 months at a restaurant? Yeah. I almost feel as though he wants to get married to me so badly that he has no patience left in himself. Well, you are living pretty close to our family's house, and you have been for a long time now. And even though he's 10 years older than me and you guys have known each other for so long that it's almost as though you've been dating a lot longer than 3 months. So I don't find you guys getting married too strange. It's just crazy is all. Would you shut up, please? Huh? I've had enough of this. It's beginning to become a huge bother for me, so I think I'm going to call it quits. You and I are no longer friends. Molly, listen, back in the day, you were really a good friend of mine and all, but ever since you had to start sitting in that wheelchair 2 years ago, it's been a pain in my butt being friends with you. Huh? For some reason, everyone seems to think it's okay to have me be the one to take care of you all the time, just because we were good friends and I live near you. And as for my parents, I have no idea why, but it seems like they feel some kind of obligation to have me help you around and such. So, whatever, I guess. The only reason I've been able to stick around and care for you this long is because I've been after that really top-notch man that you happen to be related to. Stick around? The only reason that I've been around helping you is so that I could get your brother to start taking an interest in me. He's known about me for a long time, but not enough to have any interest in me. But I felt that if I showed him that I'm a caring person by pushing you around and being a good friend of yours, he'd really start taking a liking to me. And guess what? He has taken a huge liking to me, and so I have no use for you anymore. What are you talking about? You were just using me so that you could get closer to my brother and get him to like you? That's what I'm saying. But listen here. Don't you dare go telling him about that, or else I'll push you and that wheelchair down a flight of stairs. Because if he learns that I've only been caring for you to get to him, he might not love me anymore. The only reason he wants to marry me is because he thinks I'm selfless and caring towards people like you. And to be honest, even if you did start to talk to him about what I've said, I doubt he'll believe you. He'll probably just turn around and tell you to stop talking badly about the woman he loves. So this is the way you've thought of me all along? How else did you want me to think of you? Do you really think I'm the kind of person that is happy with sacrificing their time just to help a cripple with no reward in sight? I was only using you like a tool so that I could get your brother to fall for me like he has, and then proceed to marry him. And would you look at that? It worked! I've heard enough from you. I understand what I mean to you now, and so I've had enough. Even if you are being true about how you feel about me, it's not going to matter. I know that I can live perfectly fine on my own without your help, and I'm going to start that life right now. Huh? I am thankful that you helped me find a job after I ended up in this wheelchair. And because of that, I'm able to make some decent money. I'll have to start thinking about what I'm going to do when I go out and plan it all out well, but I'm so used to that now that I don't need you there to help me. And honestly, there are other people besides you that can help me if I need it. So you are no longer needed by me, Molly. Thank you for everything up until now. Christy, do you have some time? I know that you're already aware that tomorrow's wedding is going to be held at a restaurant, but I have to ask, are you all right with not showing up for it? I'm sure you are, right? Huh? It's been a little while since we last talked, and this is what you want to talk about? You're asking me to stay away on the day of my brother's wedding? I'm sorry, but that's a little strange of you to be asking his own little sister. All I'm asking is that you tell everyone that you're not feeling too well, and that that's the reason for you not making it to the wedding tomorrow. However, if you really want to come tomorrow, then you'd better be walking into the wedding. Because you coming in that wheelchair of yours will embarrass me in front of my family. From what I've read, the restaurant is fully accessible to those in wheelchairs, so... But what I'm saying is that wheelchairs are not allowed in my wedding. I don't want my family and friends knowing that within the family I'm marrying into, there's a cripple in a wheelchair. You do realize that both you and I share a lot of friends, so why is it a huge problem now if they know? I don't care about that. I'm talking about what'll happen tomorrow. There are going to be people coming tomorrow that don't know about you or your wheelchair, and I want it to stay that way. Are you going to understand what I'm asking you right now? I am marrying your brother because I think he is the perfect man, but when it comes to his little sister, I only see you as being a stain on his reputation that I don't want people looking at. All right. Fine, I'll stay here at home tomorrow while you all enjoy the wedding. Go ahead and remove my name from the guest list. And there's one other thing. I'd like for you to leave your parents' house for good as well. Why should I do that? I'm sure you're well aware that after I marry your brother, I'm going to be moving into your parents' house with him and your parents. But you are in the way of that. If I have to move into that house with you still living there, then things are going to stay the same as they've been for the past 2 years, and I'm going to have to care for your needs. So before the wedding finishes tomorrow, I want you out of that house.
Christy.
Huh? Ryan? You're at home right now with me, so why are you choosing to text me instead of coming over to my room?
Well, right now Mom and Dad are in the living room, and I don't want them to hear what I want to say to you. For right now, at least. Okay? Just a second ago, I saw that you were texting someone on your phone, and you had a pretty miserable-looking face.
Well, yeah.
I'm sorry, but when I saw you looking that way, I walked by and took a quick look at your phone screen. Were you talking with Molly? I saw that she told you that tomorrow's wedding wouldn't allow wheelchairs. And that she asked you to not show up to the wedding tomorrow, right? What the hell is up with all that?
You saw all of that from her then?
I really want you to be able to tell me everything about what's going on between you two.
Hey, what the hell is going on over here? What are you talking about? I just showed up to the restaurant in my wedding dress, but there isn't a single soul here. I am the bride, after all, and so I had to go and get my dress on and do my makeup and hair and everything, so I was expecting to get here when everyone else was already showing up. But my mom and dad, my aunts and uncles, even my cousins, and not just all of my family, but Ryan's family as well, and even our friends. Not a single one of them is here right now to celebrate my wedding. And not just all of them, but even Ryan's not here right now to see me. The restaurant isn't even open right now either. How the hell am I going to get in there? Tell me what the actual hell is going on right now. Molly, what are you even going on about right now? I thought that the wedding had been canceled and that everyone had already been informed, including you. Huh? Yesterday evening, my brother went over to your place and there he talked with your parents about everything and about how the wedding would be canceled and that he'd no longer be engaged to you. And to make sure that the reservation and all the food that's already been prepared doesn't go to waste, Ryan is having his boss and the rest of the company come there and throw a small party while enjoying all that food. Huh? What the frick are you talking about, Christy? Last night, Ryan did end up coming over to my place for a bit, but he was here to talk to my parents about the wedding today and to tell them that wheelchairs would not be allowed at the wedding. And he told them that meant you wouldn't be able to come. And before he left, he told them that what all that meant was exactly how it sounded. Well, he had a very serious look on his face. Molly, are you going to be okay? What are you talking about? Why are you asking me that? Are you sure you listened in on everything that my brother said to your parents last night? I did. That's what I just told you. And from what I heard, Ryan agreed with what I said about you and what I was asking for. And so he was here to let my parents know that you wouldn't be showing up at the wedding. Well, you're right to think that the conversation they had was about me not being able to come to the wedding and that I'd ultimately be taken off the guest list. But my brother was actually protesting to your parents about how you used me to get closer to him, and that he knew you didn't actually care about me whatsoever, and that was all due to me being in this wheelchair. Huh? He protested? Ryan is telling me that he's going to talk with you now, so you go ahead and talk with him about this.
Molly?
Ryan, is that you?
What exactly do you think that conversation with your parents yesterday meant?
What did I think it meant? I thought you were talking with my parents about how your sister and her wheelchair are in our way, and that for the sake of our happy future, you wouldn't be allowing her to come to our wedding.
That's only what you want to think. The reason I was there last night is because the way you talked about my sister is not acceptable, and I had to complain to your parents about that.
Huh?
And just a quick side note, you didn't listen to a single thing yesterday during my conversation with them, because all you did was sit on the couch in the other room looking at your phone the whole time.
I just assumed that you guys were done talking about the important stuff.
Well, unfortunately, we were only getting started with the important stuff. Stuff like how I'm no longer going to be marrying you.
You're joking, right?
Hey, Molly, I know that you're aware that Christy is the person that saved your life. But for you to talk to her like she means nothing to you after what she did is just terrible. And it shocked me to my core.
Huh? She saved my life. What are you talking about now?
Huh? Wait a sec. Are you kidding me? You never even realized something like that either this whole time?
Huh? What?
This is just...
Ryan, what the hell are you talking about?
How about you just get your butt back to my place and then we could talk about all of this face to face? I'm sorry, but this isn't something I can talk about through text.
This is all just a joke, right? When I was about to fall down those stairs, you stepped in to save me? Molly, back then you were talking a whole lot with someone else while walking and you never noticed the flight of stairs ahead of yourself. I tried to yell at you to look out for the stairs as you continued to chat with your friend, but you didn't seem to be listening to a word I was saying. So when you were about to lose your footing and fall all the way down those stairs, I reached in to help you fall back towards the hallway, which then led to me falling all the way down that flight of stairs instead. Back then, I had just assumed you were trying to be a little jerk by hitting me in the chest with your arm and that you got what you deserved by falling down those stairs right after. So that's why you ended up in the wheelchair. My parents made me take care of you for the next 2 years as though we were obligated to do so for you. For the longest time, I didn't want you to feel responsible for me ending up like this, so I never talked to you about what happened that day. But to actually think that by not talking to you about what happened, you just assumed I was trying to mess with you and that I was the one that fell down those stairs for it? But I just don't... I'm going to be very honest with you about this now, since things have changed so much between us. Molly, you never seem to care about what other people are saying to you, do you? You always like to make everything seem as though it's about you, and then anything that doesn't have anything to do with you directly, you just forget about or change. Huh? You think that that's... When my brother was talking about how he wasn't going to marry you anymore, you did the same thing. When he was at your house talking with you and your parents, he was very upset with you. But you changed what was going on in your mind so that it looked as though he was just there to agree with you on not wanting me to come to the wedding because of my wheelchair. Is that right? I see. You're probably not going to be able to understand all of this right away. Well, I'm sorry, but with the way you've become, I no longer want to have anything to do with you. Huh? I'm not sure if after all this is over, you'll be able to think hard about what you've done and change your ways due to all of it. But as of right now, I'm having a really hard time believing that you've said so many terrible things to me, yet have not once said an apology to me for it. Well, then what the hell should I do? Right now it seems like nobody is going to be on my side after what you've all done. And you should take the time to think about why that is, although at this point, you're probably not even listening to the advice I'm giving. Anyway, I know I'm the kind of person that's able to put up with a lot of crap, but this has all gone way too far. I want you to stay away from me forever now. Christy! A few days after what had gone down, Molly's parents were kind enough to give Ryan a lot of money for all the time and effort that Molly had wasted of his, and then moved away from being near our house. And as of now, Molly has been moved into her godmother's house, somewhere way out of town, as neither of her parents are willing to house her anymore after the embarrassment and shame she brought them. Her godmother is having her go to therapy now after what she said to me, and after not having any recollection of what I did for her to save her life. And hopefully with time, Molly is going to be able to find an answer to why she's so self-centered, and to how she'll be able to make up for her mistakes. What she had done really did mess both myself and Ryan up mentally, but the two of us are working hard together to get over what happened to us. And another thing to do with me. I've been told that if I continue to go through rehabilitation for a while longer, I might actually have a chance of walking again. And so, as of right now, I'm putting all my attention on going to rehab and working towards a future where I no longer have to think about what I sacrificed to save Molly. Thank you for watching and listening. We hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Also, feel free to leave a comment about what you thought of the story. We look forward to seeing you at the next story.
Hey, Lonnie, are you there? This is important. We need to talk right now. I need to ask something of you. It's quite urgent, so you need to reply to me when you see my message.
Huh? Is that you, Ollie? It's barely the afternoon. Why are you messaging me? Shouldn't you be doing work right now?
That's not the issue at the moment. This is about me for once. So you need to listen to me, as it's a really pressing issue.
Okay then. So what's going on? What did you want to talk about?
Our marriage certificate was left at the front door entrance. What do you intend to do with this piece of paper? What's the meaning of this?
Wait, what are you talking about? Oh, that thing! Oh, I think I know. Actually, your mother came by and dropped it off at the house. She brought it over for you.
My mother? She brought it over? What do you mean?
Well, I was about to leave the house and I go to open the front door and I bumped into her there. She kept talking about when we were going to get married, but I needed her to stop as I was running late to go to the airport. I thought that I would make it in time to the airport and catch my flight, but because I was late, they wouldn't check me in, so I went home. But the marriage certificate was put in my handbag as your mother forced it in there before I left the house. It's not something that I wanted to take with me on my business trip. So I left it in the entrance because I was in such a hurry.
Are you for real? She actually came over and gave you the papers before your business trip? That's gotta be some sort of joke, right?
But I can understand where your mother's coming from by giving us those papers to look at.
Huh? What do you mean by that? You're not seriously siding with her about this, are you?
Well, since she was there, I thought it would have been the best opportunity to hear her out, so I listened to everything she said and took it all in straight away.
Huh? You took what in? What exactly did she say to you?
Haven't you been reading any of the messages I've sent? About marriage, of course. Don't you remember we started dating when I was 23 and you just turned 29 and then a year and a half later you proposed to me? Then we started living in the same place together right after that. Nothing else has happened since then. It's already been 5 years since you proposed to me and that you made a promise to marry me. Are you still up for marrying me or what? I've been waiting so long.
But wait a second. Is that why you brought up the subject of the marriage papers sitting in front of our entrance?
You brought it up. I'm just telling you that I've waited so long. Your own mother seems to be sick of waiting as well, as she was the one that came over with the documents in her hand.
Oh my god. Lonnie, you're so impatient when it comes to getting married, aren't you?
I can't believe what I'm hearing right now. I just booked myself on the next flight out of here, so I'm about to board it. We'll continue this conversation when I get home tomorrow after this business trip.
Huh? What? You want to continue talking about this marriage stuff?
Well, since it's been brought up by your mother and also myself, there's no better opportunity to talk about it than right now. In the present day, Ollie. If you think about it, messaging about it is not the best place to talk about something this important. Let's just make a time to talk about it face to face so we can openly communicate and hear each other's thoughts on the matter.
Ugh. I don't know about all of that. It sounds like a lot of work just talking about it.
Hi, sweetheart. Are you there, Lonnie? Is now a good time for us to talk?
Oh, hi, Mom. How are you doing? I'm currently at a hotel as I'm on a business trip. I hope you don't mind.
Oh, really? You're at a hotel? You're on a business trip again?
Yeah, it's been super busy in the office lately. I was assigned to a different department because of a change they underwent 6 months ago. The department has been sending me to different parts of the country, so I don't really have much of a choice but to go.
It's great that you're able to get so much out of your job and that you can see different areas of the country. But what does Ali have to say about you going here, there, and everywhere?
Oh, Ali? I mean, he's not really mentioned much about my business trip or how much I'm not at home. When I told him that I had been assigned to a department that required me to go on a lot of business trips, his response was, right, okay. He didn't seem to be listening or didn't care.
Maybe my thinking is a little bit old-fashioned. But it's not good for a couple who've been living together for 5 years with not much intention on getting married to be having such different lifestyles. Well, I guess it doesn't help that Ali's father passed away after being hospitalized for such a long time. I think it's because a lot of things happened and you both haven't found the right time to get married. But it's still been 5 years. Don't you think it's because you both have different values? That's why nothing's happened?
Yeah, you could be onto something there, Mom. I really don't know what to do about it.
Well, it could be related to that, but I don't either, Lonnie.
What's up, Mom? What are you thinking?
Maybe I could offer you to go on a blind date with someone else. That could push Ollie into making a decision, right?
What the heck, Mom? Why would I do that when I'm engaged?
I don't know the full details, but your father will explain it to you over the phone. If you don't have much time right now, maybe we can discuss this later?
Yeah, I'm a bit busy right now. Okay, let's just talk about this later. But I'm hearing what you're saying now. Hello, Ali? Are you there? I just wanted to let you know that I walked through the door just now. Are you still at work? What are you up to?
No, I'm not at work right now. I'm currently at a cafe using their Wi-Fi.
Huh? What are you doing there for? I know that we've got Wi-Fi at home, right?
I know, but I don't want to be at home at the moment. You kept going on and on about marriage this, marriage that. I don't want to hear any of it right now.
Hey, well, I was being serious yesterday. I feel like I should be after waiting this long. I can't avoid this any longer because some people are urging us to get married already. Don't you think it's fair to talk about it?
Oh, come on, Lonnie. Don't ask those sort of things.
What's so funny, Ollie? I'm trying to have a decent conversation with you about us. I've just turned 30 and you've just turned 35. We should be talking more about this. If you want to get married to me, then let's do it. If you don't, then you need to say so. Can't you just give me a clear decision?
Even though you say that to me, I just don't know. I want to continue living with you, but if we're to get married, there would be so many things that would bother me.
What things would bother you, Ali? I don't get it. What would be so different?
There's just various things that would bother me, such as relationship with relatives, having to interact with each other's parents, and whether to have children.
I don't think we'd have much to do with the rest of our relatives and just have more focus on each other. I don't think my parents would mind if we were a bit distant from them after we got married.
But would that really happen, though? There are times when things change suddenly when two people get married, though.
Don't you think you're being a bit two-faced about this? I don't get why you are. Also, when it comes to having kids, I don't mind if we have them or not. It's not a huge deal breaker for me. I'd also be fine with living as a couple forever if we couldn't have children. But if we do decide to have children, by the time we try, it might be too late for me to get pregnant without too many complications. There are more physical limitations when it comes to raising children at an older age, you know. That's why I think it's important to think about all these things in advance so that decisions can be made and that we know what we want.
I guess I see your point, but I don't want to have to worry about what we're discussing about in the future, so...
I see what you mean. I know that you're that kind of person. So it's best to talk about it sooner rather than later?
I guess so, but... I don't know about something like this.
Huh? What do you mean? I'm a bit confused. You need to be more specific.
It just seems like you're giving me no choice but to marry you. Like, don't you think you're putting a lot of pressure on me?
I guess so, but I wouldn't describe it like that. Rather that I'm checking to see if you have any desire in marrying me. That's why we've been talking about the pros and cons from both points of view. Look, if you've got something to say, it would be best if you say it now. I'll also use it as a base to make future decisions.
Okay then, I suppose we better talk some more. What do we do about dividing our things in the property?
Huh? What do you mean by that? Are you planning on dividing our assets even before we could get divorced and get married?
Wait a second. No, I don't think that's quite what I meant. Honestly, I'm not quite sure what I mean anymore.
If you've got any complaints about us, I would like you to take the opportunity to speak out about them right now.
No, that's not it either. I don't think I've got any complaints. I'm just wondering how I can word what I'm about to say, just so that I can get my point across without you interrupting. What about being the breadwinner of the family? I guess I might not be ready for that kind of responsibility yet. Am I?
I don't want to put the financial burden solely on you to earn for us. I've mentioned that before, and I intend to continue working at my job after we get married.
I'm actually quite relieved for you to say that, but I guess maybe this isn't the right time to be trying to step up to be the sole earner, is it?
Does that mean that you want more time to think about what you want? You do realize that it's been over 5 years since you proposed to me, right?
Look, I know that. It's just so hard to think about so many things at once. This is just giving me so much trouble and it's bothering me a lot.
Huh? I really don't get it. What's the problem, Ali?
I just want to live like we have been for now. If you're the one who wants to get married, then I see no point in continuing on with this relationship. If you don't like that idea, then don't say anything about it. If you keep pressing me to get married one more time or before I feel like getting married, I'll just say goodbye now. That's the idea I've got.
Oh, okay. I see. I guess I understand. I'll just leave it at that then. So, I guess you don't want me mentioning anything about marriage ever again. Is that it?
Oh my gosh, Lonnie. It's about time that you caught on. I don't see any point on bringing up marriage ever. Haha. Surely you understand that. The way things are now is the easiest way for us, right?
No, I don't understand. I have the exact opposite opinion, so I think I'll continue talking about marriage.
What? Did you see what I just wrote? Did you even read my message?
If that's the conclusion you've come to, Ali, I don't want to be any part of it. From here, this is the end of us. Goodbye and good luck with everything, Ali.
Are you serious? Lonnie! Lonnie! Can you reply to me, please?
Hey, Mom. I hope you're doing well. You know how yesterday you mentioned something about a blind date? I think we can go ahead with that, and I'm fine doing it. Hi, Lonnie. Is that all right? What made you change your mind? Yeah, I've had enough of Ali. I can't get anywhere with him. In my mind, messaging was my last option after not being able to talk to him face to face. He was too afraid to face me and just ran off to do whatever he does by himself. Wait, what? He ran away from you? Yeah. When I messaged him saying that I just got back from my business trip, he said that he went to a cafe to use their Wi-Fi. Ah, okay. That's no good, my dear Lonnie. I'm so sorry that things aren't going so well. I guess he just is scared to talk about marriage. If he could just run away like that in such a natural way, then he obviously doesn't want to change anything. It's so frustrating. Still, I managed to message him and talk about things, but it was such a waste of time and energy. He's just impossible to deal with right now. Yeah, I bet. Well, I hope we can get you sorted out. Let's try to forget about him dragging you along for nothing.
Hey! Lonnie! What the heck's going on right now? You need to be straight with me. Where are all your things? There's hardly anything left in the apartment. Everything's gone.
It's because I stayed up all night packing my bags and moving out.
But why are you moving out? I don't understand.
Well, you were the one that confirmed it for me that we were never going to get married to each other. So that's why we're splitting up and I'm never coming back here.
What? I'm so confused. Just because I didn't want to get married doesn't mean I don't want to live with you. You can't just move out.
We're officially no longer living together, Ollie. It's over. Why should I live and be with you if you won't marry me?
I knew you'd be like this. Is it because I'm being too one-sided about marriage? Is that it?
Are you even thinking about us and what I want for the future?
But aren't things just fine the way they are right now? Why do you need to complicate it with getting married? Well, I hate to see you go like this. Just because I won't marry you?
That's just it, Ollie. I don't understand why you won't marry me after 5 years. Plus, you used my earnings as an excuse to keep yourself from getting a job, didn't you?
Huh? What are you talking about? I'm employed. What do you mean?
I heard that you had a huge falling out with your boss just over 3 months ago. Then you went and quit your job.
Wait, what? How'd you know about that? Who told you?
I've actually known about this for a little while, but I only really found out the details recently. My father is a factory manager, and he was a former business partner of your boss.
What? Your father knew my boss? They were once business partners? How did I not know about this?
Although I'm not directly involved with what my father does for work, so I kept quiet about it. I thought that it would be difficult for you if you knew that my father was business partners with your boss. It could have made things more awkward than they were. I used to sometimes see you go to his office from time to time when you were in sales. However, I haven't seen you in the past 3 months. Your successor in sales told me that you'd quit your job. I had to find out through him and not you.
But that's crazy how you found all that out. I didn't want you to find out like that.
You quit because you kept yelling at your boss for the own mistakes you were making. You can't just blame others for what you've done wrong. My father was able to tell me everything he knew about it. You've really become the man who has become accustomed to running away from his responsibilities. And of course it doesn't make me happy.
I suppose now you know everything, and I need to hurry up and get another job soon. You know if I do that, it'll be the same as before.
I just don't understand why you'd hide something like you quitting your job from me. Why did you?
I don't have to explain why. I did that. I just did, okay? Why do you want me to explain so much to you?
You give me nothing, Ollie. That's the part I'm starting to hate about us being together. I can't do this anymore. So without further ado, I'll say my goodbyes. Enjoy looking for a new job to support yourself.
Lonnie, I really need to talk to you. I've managed to prepare everything for us. Let's get married.
Huh? Who is this? Is that you, Ollie? Why the heck are you asking me this now?
Does that matter? Let's just get married. I'm ready for this.
Are you for real? It's been over a year since we split. Don't you realize that we are over? We're done. I stopped living with you. I stopped all contact with you. Don't you realize what a separation is? Why are you even proposing to me after all this time and not being together?
Because I've got myself sorted and I'm ready to take the next step with you. I've got myself another job. I can put money towards the ceremony and we can get back together. We can live together again.
Ali, I'm already married to someone else, though. It's not going to work out.
Huh? What are you talking about? How can you be married? We only broke up a year ago. Have you moved on?
After I broke up with you, my father set me up on a blind date with another man. I went on a date with him and we really hit it off. We share similar values, we're able to communicate our thoughts and feelings really well, and so it was a no-brainer but to go out with him. I found my person, and so we decided to get married, and that's what we did. There was no hesitation or going back and forth.
This has got to be some kind of sick joke, right?
I don't need to explain myself to you anymore. You didn't give me what I needed, and you never will. I no longer need your contact details anymore.
But you can't just do this to me. I want to get back together. I finally realized what I want.
It's too late. I'm going to block you now. Don't ever try and contact me ever again. Goodbye. He's just being the same as always. So I thought to myself, I'll block him from contacting me. Actually, I had vaguely heard about his situation after our breakup from his acquaintances. Apparently, 2 of my friends who I thought were single got married really quickly. It seems that they were pressured to get married by their mothers and to have grandchildren as soon as possible. Ali's mother was getting impatient and told him to get a job and proposed to me. He got a job, but it was only part-time. He's not really earning a lot of money, according to my acquaintance. When he found out about my marriage, he lost all motivation, and he started to be absent from work and was then fired for missing work all the time. Recently, he's been looking after a bunch of kids at his parents' house. It seems that every day there's a battle between him and his mother about what he's done to his life. Thank you for watching! If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to see more content like this.
Kate, I'm sorry. I don't think things are gonna go well for our wedding tomorrow.
Wait, Roland? What's going on?
Ever since this morning, my dad has been saying the craziest things.
Like what?
He was screaming and yelling at me about how I'm trying to mix uneducated, low-life blood into our elite families.
Low-life blood?
I was wondering what he was doing when he left the house this morning, but then he came home with papers in his hand. Then he screamed out, "This marriage is off," before coming to me. The way he spoke about everything was all over the place, but I was able to get the gist of things. He was talking about your family that whole time. He rambled on and on.
My family? What was he saying about us?
My mom and I were able to get him to go into his office, and we're both waiting for him to calm down before we ask that same thing again. I'm sorry to ask this, but if we haven't figured out anything with him by tomorrow, you mind heading to the wedding venue before me? I'm gonna let the staff there know about this, and we'll come moments before the wedding all starts. And when I can, I'll do my best to explain what all happens with my dad by that time.
Understood. You don't have to talk with me all the time, but I'd like to be updated on this when you have your hands free.
Sure, I'll try my best to keep in touch with you throughout today and tomorrow. And if I haven't been able to get back to you for some time, you can go ahead and call or text me to get my attention. That would really help, actually.
All right, sounds good.
I really am sorry about this. This marriage is off!
Oh, is this Roland's dad? Now that I think about it, the last time I saw you, I had given you my phone number, right?
This marriage is off! We were just about to be completely fooled by you lowlifes. So, I'm not going to let you speak even one complaint about this marriage being off.
Can you tell me what's going on here? I'd like a proper reason for all of this nonsense.
You should know already without me saying anything. I should have expected that, though, from a bunch of brainless apes like you guys all are.
And what exactly do you mean by that? I can understand if this had something to do with only me, but asking for our marriage to not happen based off my family? Well, this doesn't seem to be about myself anymore, so I'd really like to know what's going on with you.
I guess I'll have to explain in order to get you to understand. Today, I learned from an investigator that both of your parents never graduated from high school back in the day. Are you not embarrassed by both of your parents being dropouts?
Embarrassed by something like that? So these things about my family being lowlifes and uneducated was specifically pointed at my mom and dad?
So that's what you're wanting to know about right now? Well, considering you had to be raised by those two monkeys, it only makes sense that you're unable to pick up on things normal human beings can. Now you listen very carefully, all right? In my family, every single one of us went to and graduated from a university. And if you'd like to know, they weren't just any universities, but only the best Ivy League schools in the U.S.
I don't really want to stomp on your parade there about people's educations, but I went and graduated from the same exact school as Roland.
And I'm sure you had to go there using federal grants and other things the government gives to the poor. You should have to go into debt in order to get an education.
I never received any grants or scholarships, and both my parents had to pay for me to go.
Stop lying to me! There's no way a couple of high school dropouts have that kind of money!
Sure, you're right that the both of my parents are different from most families and did not graduate from a university or anything. And considering that this world loves people that spend money to go to school over those that get an education outside of the normal system, they had to work really hard. But by the time I started to understand the real world, I wouldn't say that either of my parents were poor. Quite the opposite, actually.
I don't think a girl raised in a family of lowlifes has any idea what a proper family with money looks and feels like.
I really don't think there's much of a difference there, depending on the family one grew up in.
Anyhow, I will not allow for any of your foul, low-life blood to enter my elite family made up of only the most intelligent university graduates. We have no need for that disgusting blood in this family, so your marriage is off. I will not allow either of you to get married to one another. Don't you ever come around my elite family of university graduates again, you child of two uneducated heathens.
to the point, the deal in question was allowed to continue. However, there was a condition: remove the problematic employee from the new project. That problematic employee, as you might have guessed, was none other than my fiancé's father, Davis. As a result, Davis was demoted to a dead-end position, stripped of any real responsibility, and had his salary significantly reduced. His once prominent position in the company was gone, replaced by the shame of being sidelined in his professional life. This turn of events didn't just affect his career, though. It spilled over into his personal life as well. Soon after, Davis's wife, my mother-in-law, filed for divorce. I'll never forget the last time I saw her. As we were saying our goodbyes, she looked Davis straight in the eye and, in the calmest voice, said, "I think you're under a misconception. I'm not a college graduate, but a high school graduate." Davis, who had always prided himself on appearances, looked utterly stunned, as if he'd been hit by a bombshell. He didn't know what to say, and I couldn't help but notice how much that one comment affected him. This revelation might seem insignificant to an outsider, but for Davis, it cut deep. He had always acted with a certain arrogance, believing that his wife, his career, and his life were all perfect and prestigious. To find out that the woman he had been married to for years was not the educated upper-class partner he had assumed her to be must have been a huge blow to his ego. It was as though the foundation upon which he had built his sense of superiority was crumbling before his eyes. Not long after this, Davis chose to resign from his position at the company. Officially, it was a voluntary resignation, but everyone knew the truth. He was forced out. Whether it was due to shame, stress, or simply an inability to deal with the drastic changes in his life, Davis couldn't handle it anymore. He walked away from the career he had worked so hard to build, a career that had once defined his identity. However, walking away wasn't the end of his troubles. Davis was already in his late 50s, and finding a new job at his age, especially after the scandal that surrounded his name, proved to be impossible. He had burned too many bridges over the years, alienating colleagues and subordinates with his overbearing attitude. He had always believed himself to be untouchable, the kind of person who could say and do anything without facing consequences. But now, as he searched for employment, it became painfully clear that no one was willing to help him. From what I've heard, Davis is now living a life far removed from the one he once knew. Gone are the days of high-powered meetings, expensive suits, and the respect he commanded in the corporate world. Instead, he scrapes by doing day labor, picking up whatever odd jobs he can find just to put food on the table. The fall from grace has been steep, and the man who once lived in luxury is now struggling to survive. It's hard not to feel a mix of emotions when I think about Davis. On one hand, his downfall feels like the inevitable consequence of years of poor decisions, both in his professional and personal life. He treated people around him with disdain, always assuming he was better than everyone else. Whether it was his colleagues, subordinates, or even his family, Davis had a way of belittling those who didn't live up to his impossible standards. In the end, that arrogance isolated him, and now, when he needs the help the most, there's no one willing to offer him a hand. He was a man who built his career from the ground up, and in many ways, he deserved the success he achieved. But somewhere along the way, he lost sight of what truly mattered. And that's when everything started to unravel. As for his personal life, the divorce from my mother-in-law was the final nail in the coffin. Their relationship had been strained for years, but Davis had always assumed that his wife would stay by his side no matter what. In his mind, she was a part of the image he wanted to present to the world, an educated, cultured woman who matched his idea of success. But when she revealed that she wasn't the person he thought she was, it was a wake-up call. Suddenly, Davis realized that everything he had built was based on false assumptions. In the end, Davis's life is the cautionary tale of what happens when pride, arrogance, and poor judgment go unchecked. He had everything: career, family, status, but he took it all for granted. Now he spends his days doing menial labor, barely scraping by, while the world moves on without him. It's a lonely, impoverished existence, and it's hard not to imagine the regret he must feel as he looks back on the choices he's made. Thank you for watching and listening. We hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Also, feel free to leave a comment about what you thought of the story. We look forward to seeing you at the next story.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.
Dad, can you start coming home right now?
Oh, Mary?
But you're on a business trip right now, aren't you? There's no way you can come all the way home now.
I'm sorry for taking so long to get back to you. If you have a lot to talk about, you can go ahead and start telling me it all now, since I'm about to get on the train anyway. By the way, what happened to you being at school? You shouldn't have the day off or anything like that today, right?
I have a fever and decided to come home early.
Wait, did you catch a cold or something?
Probably, yeah.
I see. You go get into bed then and warm yourself up and take some water into your room with you so you stay hydrated. There should be some medication in the pantry you can take if you start to feel even worse and cough more, all right?
But, Dad, I can't get into the house right now.
Huh? Did you forget to take the house key with you to school today?
I guess so. I went and changed my bag yesterday to a brand new one, and when I was moving all of my things over into it, I must have forgotten the house key.
Wait, but Mom should still be there at the house today, right? She told me she didn't have any plans to leave the house for today.
I heard that from her as well, but it doesn't look like she's home right now. I rang the doorbell over and over again, but she never came. As well as banged on the door some. And the man next door just came out and told me that about an hour ago, Mom left the house and hadn't come back yet.
What is she doing right now? And right now you have a fever, right? Do you think you can make it over to Grandpa's house just down the road? I heard that Grandma took the day off her part-time job as well, so she'll be home to take care of you. Let me call and ask them if it's fine for you to go there.
I should be able to make it out to their house soon.
Have a safe trip and be careful, please. I'm going to talk with my company and see if I can start heading home today to meet with you tonight.
Sounds good. I'm not able to get the front door open at all. What's going on here? Maybe it's my key that's broken, but I really don't think that it is. Do you have any idea what's up with the lock on the front door?
Welcome home, Marge.
By the way, are you even home right now?
I'm home.
Then could you please hurry up and come open the front door to let me inside?
I don't think it's going to help if I came and opened the door to the house.
What do you mean it wouldn't help?
Because the house that you're at is my previous house, right?
What? What do you mean by it being your previous house?
I moved.
Huh?
Sorry for doing this while you were out having that affair with another man, but Mary and I have moved out of there and are settled in here, so there's no reason for you to come back to us anymore.
What? Hold on a second. What was that about me having an affair? What are you going on about right now?
Are you gonna try playing dumb with me now or something?
Are you seriously saying that I've been having an affair with another man?
Well, that's what I just said, wasn't it?
Oh, stop talking a ton of nonsense about me, please. I told you already that this trip was me and my old friends getting together to go enjoy ourselves. We literally talked about this already, right?
Really? So you like to go with your friends to hotels like that one?
What?
If that's the kind of place you're taking your friends to, and those are the kinds of things you do with them there, then I do not want to meet any one of them. And to think that the man is married himself.
Huh?
And to make things even more tough, he's the father of one of Mary's classmates. What I'm hearing so far is that you and him talk to one another a lot due to the fact that you both have kids in the same class. And that ended up with you in bed together for 10 days. I'm really trying to figure out how that could have happened so quickly, because if there's no good reason for it, that's all too strange. Honestly, you guys' reasoning might be something I can't comprehend.
How much do you know about this?
I know the things that are most important to me, so a lot of it.
What?
The reason I began to have doubts about you in the first place started the last time I had to leave town for work. I never ended up saying anything to you about this, but Mary ended up having a fever at school and took the rest of the day off to be at home. But when she made it home to a house where you should have been, she said you weren't there when she called me. After hearing from her that you were nowhere to be found, I ended up texting you asking where you were at. Do you remember that? You told me that you were at home, the same home that Mary said you specifically weren't at.
That's what that was all about? Now that I think about it, there was a time when she came down with something. But she told me that she had stayed at school the whole day and never took time off to come home.
That was because she didn't want you figuring out that we were onto you at the time. I guess she wanted to keep everything we thought about you a secret, though, because I never actually told her not to say anything to you. On that day, you were out with that other man, right? What the hell do you think you're doing at the age of 45 when you have a kid in high school?
You said that you both moved out of this house, right? Tell me where your new address is.
Why should I do that?
Why should you?
Why do you think I would keep us moving to a new house quiet from you?
But...
Mary really hates your guts now, Marge.
What?
On that day, on a rare day where she was so sick and needed to leave school to go home and rest, she came home to nobody being inside and having no way to let herself in. I'm sure she felt helpless as hell then. And after that, thinking when she'd talk with me I'd give her a reason for why you weren't home, we both had to learn that you've been having an affair. And that day you were out with another man who wasn't her dad. I think to a high school girl like Mary, learning something like that about her own mom is one of the most, if not the most, shocking things ever. So it makes sense why she hates you so much now.
But, I think that at least meeting once to talk all of this over.
That's not enough to get me to tell you my new address where we're living. Also, I have one other thing to tell you that's pretty important. Mary's changing schools.
She's changing schools? She's going to have to leave her current high school and go somewhere else?
That's what she wanted. How could she go to a school every day with a classmate whose dad has been going out with her mom behind her dad's back? It's too much for her to handle now, and with her having to apply for college in a couple years, she can't waste her time worrying about you anymore. So after thinking things through for a little bit, she decided to change schools. I wanted to do anything for her, and that's why I made sure to get us a house closer to where her new school will be.
No way!
I'm also transferring jobs.
Huh?
I had plans for something like this before, all right? I wanted to talk with you about it, but then I learned you were most likely having an affair and decided to keep all of this to myself. Then, soon after that, I learned that you were indeed going out with another man behind my back. I thought about how having to continue living in a house like that would ruin my daughter's and my own mental health, and chose to sell it.
What the hell? Where the hell am I supposed to go then?
How about you go back to your parents' house?
What?
I already made sure to send all of your things there. Also, the lawyer will be paying your parents' house a visit soon, so...
A lawyer?
There are a lot of things we have to decide on in the divorce, so I decided it would be best to have a lawyer involved in all of this. And of course, your secret man is going to be involved in all of this as well.
Why do you keep carrying on with this conversation if you do something like that to me?
There's no reason to be worried about what everyone else is going to think about you now. Both your parents and that man's wife are well aware of what you've both been up to.
No way!
I'm just going to let you know right now, you don't have any allies in this.
No, doing all of that without me.
Remember, it was you who asked for all of this by having that affair, so could you at least cut it out with trying to blame others for your responsibilities?
No, at least not a divorce.
If you have anything to say about it, please go have a word with my lawyer. I don't want to talk with you anymore. Mary would like to start making a new environment here with me that is much happier than the one you've created. So stay out of the way of that, please.
Wait!
With all that being said, I don't think you and I will be meeting with one another anymore.
I just told you to wait!
Goodbye forever. Later, after finalizing the arrangements for alimony and child support, the divorce was officially settled. It seems that my ex-wife had planned to remarry her affair partner, but surprisingly he chose to reconcile with his own wife instead. In a complete reversal, she immediately turned to me asking for reconciliation. When I refused, she apparently went to my parents' house, only to be shocked by the fact that a different family was living there. She was completely taken aback by this unexpected situation. I had already informed her that my parents had moved with me when I relocated, but it seems she had forgotten. In her panic, she caused quite a scene at the house. Afterward, she was severely scolded by her parents. Given that alimony and child support were part of the divorce settlement, her parents arranged for her to be transferred to a distant workplace. There, she's under strict supervision and seems to have finally come to terms with the situation. Now, from what I hear, she spends her days quietly working, going through her routines in silence. Thinking back on the sequence of events, it's almost surreal how quickly things escalated and then shifted again. My ex-wife had been so certain that her future lay with the man she had chosen over me, yet fate had other plans for her. I can't help but feel a sense of poetic justice in how things unfolded. The fact that her affair partner decided to return to his wife, abandoning her plans for remarriage, must have been a crushing blow to her. In that moment, she probably realized the gravity of her choices and the consequences of her actions. When she turned to me seeking reconciliation, I was already past the point of no return. The betrayal and hurt she had caused couldn't simply be undone with a request for forgiveness. I had spent countless sleepless nights agonizing over the situation, but by the time she asked to come back, I had made peace with the idea of moving on. Refusing her was my way of reclaiming my dignity and asserting that I deserved better than being her second choice. Her visit to my parents' old house still makes me laugh when I think about it. The fact that she went there expecting to find them, only to discover that a completely different family was living there, must have been quite a shock. I had clearly told her we had moved, but it's clear she wasn't paying attention, or maybe she was too caught up in her own world to remember. Either way, the scene she caused when she realized her mistake was both embarrassing and unnecessary. Her parents, who had always been somewhat strict, understandably didn't take kindly to her behavior. From what I gather, they were deeply disappointed in her choices. With the divorce settled, they arranged for her to be sent to a workplace far away where she could no longer easily meddle in my life or cause more disruptions. The fact that she's now under close watch means she's finally had to confront the reality of her situation. Thank you for watching and listening. We hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Also, feel free to leave a comment about what you thought of the story. We look forward to seeing you at the next story.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.